one way
That's
or
and
another.
that's just Sony. That's Sony.
Just Sony. Yeah.
Yikes.
Welcome back to 307 Rant.
Yikes. It's getting dangerous out there, ladies and gentlemen.
The title of this episode is We Got Some Shit to Say.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some changes coming for the new year. Okay, we're only going to be uploading 5 episodes a week to YouTube, 1 episode every week to Patreon. It may be a reaction. We may be in here building Legos. We may be, who
Could
knows?
be rebuilding a Camaro engine. We could be doing anything. You know what I
Just
mean?
doing anything. We may come in here one day and decide to count freckles on a redhead. Who
Look, we
knows?
got some microphone boom arms coming in from our good friends over at Sweetwater.
Yeah.
Affiliate links in the description below. Maybe we'll take a video of us installing those on the desk, and we're going to put that on Patreon
Yeah.
so you can actually see the desk setup because you guys don't ever get to see that.
Yeah, our Patreon fam, we appreciate you guys for hanging out and riding with us for a year. We know there's not a lot of content on there. We're
aware. We're trying.
So-
That's why we're making the change this year to
Yes.
focus more on that, so that we're not depriving you guys of content anymore. Because
Yes.
you guys are paying for it, so we need
Yeah.
to be able to provide you with content. So that's the plan.
So, the shit we need to say, William, I will talk to you later.
We're busy.
Okay. There have been several other content creators, reactors, stuff, talking about all my videos are getting copyright claimed, or I'm getting limited ads or ad suitability claims. This, that, and the other, right? Ad suitability claims, we get that every once in a while, typically on Upchurch's stuff. Upchurch has personally pissed off a lot of record labels. So
We've also, isn't there something with ad suitability also where, like, if you violate a certain amount of curse words or profanity in a certain amount of
First
time
30
before the
seconds.
first 30 seconds, then
Yep.
they have the right to do the ad suitability thing. So we've been pulled for that. There's
Yep.
been plenty of videos where I've started right off the mic like, oh, shit, like first 2 words out of my
and
mouth.
even then, sometimes it doesn't happen.
Sometimes, right.
But here's why. When we post our video, right, it goes through a thing, and it's like it has a section for ad suitability. When I upload one from my phone, and I don't know, I assume Matt does it for every episode. Every episode that gets uploaded, this guy right here.
Hello.
But it has like a small little question thing, and you just check the box that's most relevant.
Yep.
Typically, I go with I think it's the middle one. It's like, yeah, there's some cursing and stuff in it, but it's not within the first 30 seconds, so whatever.
Mine's already pre-selected, so all I have to do is just scroll down to the bottom, check the box, off we go.
Yeah. So anyway, ad suitability, that's what's going to cause that type of stuff. Here's the deal. Okay, YouTube has a lot of these reactors are getting upset with YouTube. I understand it. I'm a little upset with YouTube, okay, for not giving Carly her plaque at 100K because they had a breach in their servers, but that's a different video for a different time. They're getting upset at YouTube for doing their job. Okay, YouTube comes along and says, oh, this content or this music video belongs to this person, but I see this person's using it, so I'm just going to redirect the money, put a copyright claim on it, redirect it to this guy. Okay, that's fine. That's
a filter system. That should be in place. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Now, when you dispute it, what you're doing is you're telling them, hey, this is a reaction video. I'm covered under fair use. I'm educational.
We intend no copyright infringement.
This is not a main source of viewership. Now, I will say reaction channels that play the video from beginning to end with no interruptions, I'm sorry, that's hard to fight.
You might be teetering, yeah.
Like, the lawyer that I have asked questions to who specializes in this type of thing has told me, don't do that. Don't ever do that. You need to pause. It doesn't, a lot of people say 30 seconds, every 30 seconds. Every minute is fine. It kind of depends on what it is, right? But you need to be pausing. But you go to YouTube and you basically put in your dispute, right? Hey, I'm covered under fair use. YouTube says, well, this isn't my content. It's their content. So we're going to go ahead and take your dispute, give it to them.
Pass it off to the distributor,
to the license holder.
Whoever holds the licensing that popped the copyright claim, we're going to send it to that person.
Yes.
That person gets to decide whether or not they want to let the creator keep the money, whether or not they want to take the money, whether or not they want to share revenue. They have their option on how they want to treat the dispute.
Yes.
Or they could block your video too. They could just say, take it down. We'll block it.
Yep.
That's happened to us.
Now, sometimes record labels will, when they upload something or they distribute an artist's music, they tell certain platforms, right? Especially YouTube, hey, if this comes across and it's not from our publisher, automatically block it. We will handle the dispute. Don't do a copyright claim. Just block and copyright claim. Just boom. We want it shut down right away. YouTube goes, hey, this is your content. I'll do what you want.
Put in a filter, and that's what it sees. And second, it sees that not associated with the original license holder, it shuts it down.
Yeah.
We have one in pending right now for that exact thing.
Yep.
That's what's going on right now.
Here's the thing. I've been... I had a little thing with somebody, right? And they said, well, you're wrong.
It's a conversation that he had.
A conversation. Okay. Said, well, you're wrong. Listen. I've been in bands. I've uploaded music. I've met with popular. I've sat down with the lead singer from Hinder who wrote Lips of an Angel. Talked to him about being signed to a record label. I've talked with City of the Week, with them being signed to a record label and what that was like. Had a brief conversation with Breaking Benjamin. The good music, but like they're kind of assholes. Anyway, the biggest thing with Quiet Riot, the original bass player, he says, man, if you want to do this for a living under a label, be prepared to be broke and sad all the time, because that's what it is. And that was the most disheartening thing I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't treat their artists well. They don't treat their own artists well. The people who help them make money, they don't treat them well. So what makes you think they would treat you well?
You know,
like,
that's a very, very good point. Like, if they're not giving the artists revenue, or at least the amount of revenue they deserve for the work that they're putting in, what makes you think they're going to give you any penny of any part of that? Like, you're not going to get a part of that at all.
So anyway, this is not going to be a video of how to put through your disputes. There's lots of good videos on YouTube on how to do that.
And it's honestly, it's really easy. It's a step-by-step process. It's a click-and-go thing. I mean, there's like 5 steps and it's in. It's not really that complicating. So,
but if you're a reactor or content creator, here's the thing I want you to pay attention to. When you get a copyright claim, when you go to dispute it, look at who's making the claim. This is huge. Okay, this is why we as a smaller channel with shy of 30,000 subscribers make the same amount of money as this other person who has a channel with 160,000 subscribers, and we make the same amount every month.
That blew, when you told me that, man, I was like,
how does that happen? Well, it's because we pay attention. We know what's going on. When you told me the
amount that he was pulling, I was like, he's doing something wrong. What's he doing wrong? Wait.
So, here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and pull up our latest. Now, Home Free, right? We got a copyright block from Home Free.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and pull that up.
So I'm on content right now, so you can see this one. It's public now. It got it's. I'm circling a little public thing. So it recently got let go from being blocked. However, it still has a copyright claim. We still can't make money on it. It goes straight to whoever the original license holder was.
Now, that's the thing. Who's the license holder?
So we pull up the information on it. If we go to the copyright claim and see the details on it, we can look at the copyright owner is SME.
SME, Sony Music Entertainment.
And their copyright owner is blocking it in all territories. It's not it's visibility now. It's gone through and been unblocked, but technically Sony's blocking it in certain territories.
Now, Home Fries, you're watching this going, they were never signed to Sony, right? They weren't.
Right, they weren't. But if we click
why is Sony blocking it? Why is Sony getting paid off Home Free shit?
That's what we did. So Chris asked me that, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. So we pulled up the original video and went down to the description and went to the licensing.
Now, go ahead to the top of the video here and go ahead and click reset it, like what they would see when they look it up.
Yeah, let's just do this. I'll just refresh the page here.
There we go. Okay, Home Free. Do you hear what I hear, right?
This is what you get.
So what you see here is you see the video. When you check licensing, this is how you do it. You'll go down to your description.
Check your description. Show more.
All the way down
down to the bottom. You'll see the very end of it where all these lines come up, and then it'll have information about the music.
Yes.
Then right here you'll see this one that says licenses, and it has a little drop down.
Yep.
You just click that drop down, and it'll tell you who holds the licensing for this song.
Now I see ASCAP, Regiment Music Group, Latin Author, ACODM, Global Music Rights LLC.
You can say that one. Go for it.
Brasilia de Editores de Música.
Yeah, that.
UBEM, Latin Author Performance, Cobalt Music Publishing, and 9 other music rights societies. Why is Sony not in there? Why are they claiming? I don't see SME in there.
Sony owns all of those.
You know why? Because Sony owns all of those.
Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's like totally true or not, but Sony owns a billion other record labels and companies and affiliates and distributors and publishers.
Shall we?
So, yeah, I don't know if these ones are actually in that list or not, but when you look up...
I'm going to read through this list. Let me know if they match any of those there.
Just go ahead. Start reading them off.
So these are all subsidiary companies under Sony. Now, this doesn't include the UK. This doesn't include Japan. It doesn't include China. It doesn't include
Russia. All that stuff, yeah.
All of it. They have stuff over there too. But I have Columbia Records. Now, under Columbia Records, you also have another subset.
Dude, Sony owns Columbia Records.
Yes.
That's all you need to, like, what?
Yeah. 30th Century Records, Alamo Records, Daft Life, Hypnotized Minds, I Am Other, StarTime International, Reach Records.
Oh, those are all like major labels. I know most of those.
Now, they also own Epic Records. Under Epic Records, they have DC Flag Records, Battery Records, So Def Recordings, Bad Boy Records, Vested in Culture, Free Bands, Mosley Music Group, and Droxley Alliance Recording. They also own RCA Records.
Oh my God.
RCA Inspiration, Gospel-Centric Records.
What?
Now, all these ones that I say under these are subsidiaries of that subsidiary, okay?
Dude, Sony owns RCA?
Yep. Verity Records, Bystorm Entertainment, Nappy Boy Entertainment, Polo Grounds Music, ASAP Worldwide, Kemosabe Records, Roswell Records. Sony Music Nashville, of course that's owned by Sony. It's in the name. Okay, makes sense. Artista Nashville, Columbia Nashville, RCA Records Nashville. That makes sense. Okay. Provident. They own Provident Label Group, Brentwood Records, Benson Records, Essential Records, Flickr Records, Beach Street Records, Reunion Records, Provident Special Markets. They also own Milan Records, Playbill Records, Bluebird Records, Masterworks Broadway, OK Records, Portrait Records, RCA Red Seal Records, Sony Classic Records, and Odyssey Records. Okay, now here are the big ones, okay, that weren't mentioned before. Some of them were, but the big records that also have subsidiaries, that's all under Sony. You have Columbia, Epic, RCA Records Nashville, J Records, Windham Records. Oh, Windham Records, yeah. Arista Records, LaFace Records, Jive Records, Buddha Records, Kama Sutra Records, Philadelphia International Records, which Philadelphia International Records also handles catalog of recordings produced by Phil Spector and Files Records, originally from EMI Music Publishing, which was acquired by Sony ATV Music Publishing. Now, that's in there. Isn't that EMI? Or am I incorrect?
I didn't see EMI in there, but we've got like UBEM, UMPI, so I'm not 100%. There's 9 other ones that aren't listed too, so who's to say?
They also own Black River Entertainment, Blind Pig Records, Big Future Records, Century Media Records, which also they own, another Century Records and Inside Out Music. Then we have Cinematic Music Group, Disruptor Records, French Kiss Records, J-Dub Records, Louder Than Life, which is a joint venture with Salem Remy.
Good Lord. Dude.
Odd Future Records, Reach Records, Shrapnel Records, TVT Records, Valley Entertainment, Exude Records, Galileo Produções Brazil, Velas Discos. Okay? Now, here's their publishers. Associated Production Music, which is a joint venture with Universal Records. Okay? Sony works with Universal, uses Universal. Under Universal, they have Sonoton, Bruton Music, Kazamine Music, and Hard Cosnius. EMI Production Music, KPM Music House, Extreme Music, Remote Control Productions, Bleeding Fingers Music, Hickory Records, Phyllis Records, Dial Records, 4-Star Records, Challenge Records. Okay, and then they have Sony Music UK, which we're not going to deal with. Sony Music Entertainment Japan, we're not going to deal with. Other Sony Music national companies. I mean, God, they have so much. Orchard Brazil, I mean, they have a lot there. A lot in Germany, Canada,
and
Korea.
Like Orchard Brazil, that could be part of this Uneo Brasileira de that could be part of one of those. It could be one of these UBEM, UMPI, one of these Latin Otter performance things, these Latin Otter ACODEM things. It could be part of that. There's so many affiliates associated. Point in case. So like there are even more. There's more on the list. You can keep going.
Now, here's where it gets interesting, okay? Sony also owns independent labels distributed by Sony Music Entertainment.
That's not independent.
Independent labels.
That's not independent.
Okay? Albert Productions, Aware Records, Black Butter Records, Black Mirror Society.
Hang on, wait, before you get into this, because we're gonna get this little info bubble below our video that says there might not be information, correct information in there. That's not independent. I'm just gonna say that.
This is coming from, like, this is. I went to Sony's page, went to their, like you can go to company info, and then it takes you to another thing. And then, okay, what else do you guys?
And all that,
and then you go to this directory, and then that directory takes you to this page. I have Boopap Records, Chrome Entertainment, Constellation Records, which is Google, Chrome Entertainment.
Oh.
Constellation Records, Cooking Vinyl, D-Town Records, Danger Crew Records, which was formerly handled by Avex Group, Dachshund Harmona Mundi, Fair Trade Services, Hostess Entertainment, In the Name of, Ivory Music and Video, J-Storm, JVR, Kimosabe Records, which was there before, Cobalt Music Group, which Cobalt's in there. Look
right
at
there.
that.
Cobalt
Boom.
Music Group. Cobalt Music Publishing. Right there. Boom.
And this is under their list of publishers.
So that's why. That's why it says Sony. We just found out. We literally just figured it out right there. Cobalt Music Publishing is part of Sony.
KQ Entertainment, Love Is, Megaforce Records, Mr. 305 Incorporated, Napalm Records. Okay. Nick Records, CBS Records.
Good Lord.
Is a subsidiary of
Sony.
Palm Tree Records, Pink Floyd
Palm
Records.
Tree Records. Oh, that's a huge label.
Yeah. Shout Factory, Starship Entertainment, STMPD Records, SPV GmbH, Robbins Entertainment, Dakar Entertainment, Top Media, Top Stop Music, Ultra Music, EEM Records, Wake One, Warner Music Group.
Just looks at me.
Warner Music Entertainment.
Oh.
Warner Music Entertainment and Music Group, which is their, like, the company makes the videos and publishes the videos. And then they have a whole thing of former or defunct labels, which that one's another list of 200.
Probably another, yeah.
But guess what? Just because those labels are defunct
doesn't mean they're not making money.
The money just transfers to one of the other ones.
They still own all of the rights for the music that was created in those labels.
Yes.
So any of that that gets published elsewhere, money still trickles in, baby.
That's it. So,
Cobalt Music. We learned something. We've seen that one before, and I didn't know it was part of Sony.
I say all of this to say, and now here's the thing. There's some other ones in there, distributors. Now, I don't know when this list was updated. What is it Tom McDonald's use? Or Tom McDonald uses? TuneCore. TuneCore is a subsidiary distributor for Sony.
Guaranteed. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is.
I mean, that one's easy because TuneCore is massive, and who else would they be partnered with? Who you're going to partner a massive company with? A massive company, so Sony, that makes sense.
So, when you have an independent artist that you cover, okay, number one, check their licensing. Then check to see, hey, is this a subsidiary of Sony? And let me tell you, it's not. It took me 2 hours to find all of this information. They do not make it easy. Okay,
they don't want to make it easy because they don't want you to know how to get around their copyrights.
So here's the thing: the best way to avoid a copyright or the best way to not get a copyright is just avoid it in the first place. Okay, make sure you check your licensing. If you get a copyright claim, who's claiming it? We ran into a Tom McDonald one where it wasn't Tom.
It wasn't claimed by TuneCore. It wasn't
TuneCore.
It was claimed by some.
It was one of the Columbia
ABA
subsidiary
music group or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it was something that we were like, that's not. Normally Tom's or TuneCore.
Yeah.
And we looked into it, and it was not. It was. I don't think it was legit.
No, it wasn't.
It was not legit.
And here's the thing. The biggest fight that record labels are having right now is independent artists using YouTube to build their platform. So they can't necessarily go after the artist, right? Because that's not necessarily legal. But like, if they own all these other companies, why wouldn't they? Hey, here's a couple $1 million, get you some staff, buy you a building, buy some equipment, and just go and start reporting reaction channels. Report this, report that. Like, you know, hey, go in and this song that belongs to us, you're going to go ahead and claim that for us, okay? And then this one, right? Oh, he used TuneCore to upload that? Well, you're going to make the claim for that. That's a copyright for you because, you know, you work for TuneCore now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, why wouldn't they do that? Their biggest competition is the free market. Why wouldn't they have somebody come in and start placing things in, like, start making things difficult?
Start collecting lot fees, basically.
Because reactors are, like, Tom McDonald doesn't do any advertising. I mean, he'll do short little videos.
The argument that I have all the time is like, people are like, the argument will come up, you know, oh, well, doesn't that take money away from the original? Doesn't that take views away from the original artist? Doesn't that take money away from the original artist? The argument for that is so easy. Okay, first of all, if they like the original artist, they're going to listen to the song before they watch us react to it. They're going to do that. Unless they've decided that they'd rather watch it with us and wait, and then, you know, that's okay also.
Well, and we've had a ton of people, especially home frights, if you guys are here watching us. I've had several of them because we've said in videos before, if you guys like our home free reactions, you're here because you like good vocals, you like good music. Check out Jelly Roll. And all of a sudden they're Jelly Roll fans. Then they start watching our reactions to Jelly Roll going, man, dude, that's why this guy. So, and then they go and buy his albums. Like, we're basically like reactors are billboards for these independent artists.
And talk to any independent musician about reactors and how they feel. Talk to independent musicians. Ask them, like, how do you guys feel about reactors using your videos on their channels? Everyone that we've talked to,
Adam Calhoun told us in person, bro, we appreciate you
we
guys.
appreciate the hell out of you guys.
Jones,
like, you guys
too.
are out there doing hard work for us. And like, yeah, like most of them are like, thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah.
Because I think people get lost in the, you put a reaction to someone's music video on your page, and people get lost in the, oh, well, you're taking all the money from that video, and you're taking away the views from that video.
God, dude, if I could get paid the same amount of money they made on that video.
Well, and it's not necessarily even about just the one video. You know,
It's
like,
not.
we have a video on our page, but the idea is to get you to go to their page and start watching their content.
Yeah.
Like, take this
because
video.
what we hope for is that you go, man, I really like that artist. I'm going to check them out. And then you find another song and go, hey, guys, can you guys react to this song?
Can you guys react to this one?
Yeah.
Because this one's really good, and I want to hear your opinions on it. And that's what a lot of you guys ask for us is like, what's your musical opinion on this? What do you guys hear musically? And a lot of you guys, I feel like that's what we can bring to the table, you know?
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, reaction channels that just play the whole video and don't say anything and wait till the end and say that was good and move on.
Yeah.
Is that a reaction? A reaction to me is you know, having something to say, having a report on something. Like, you know, you see something, you go, oh shit, what was that thing? Like,
Yeah.
or like, why did it do that thing, or what was that thing about? You know,
Like,
or what
actually
did he
go
mean
in
there?
and analyze. Reaction channels shouldn't. Okay, they shouldn't be called reaction channels. It's easier for that, but realistically, they should be breakdown channels, or you know, these are my first thoughts when I hear this, right? Which is still a reaction, but it should be more than, oh, look at my face when I heard that bar. Like,
Nobody knows what a reaction channel is in Wyoming, and it's kind of great because everyone always just calls when they get to talking to me about it, they always just call it a podcast. Like, how's the podcast going? And I'm always just like,
at this point, it's almost easier. Yeah, it's just like, oh, yeah,
this
that's good.
episode is basically a podcast. So
Yeah.
welcome to the podcast, I guess. But yeah, so like, I'm just kind of taking it as that. Like,
Yeah.
they don't see it as a reaction channel because they don't really know what that is, and so they just say, "How's the podcast?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's great.
it's great.
And when I think about it, some of our episodes,
yeah,
they could teeter on podcast, you know,
Yeah.
for sure. It's like I said, it's kind of what we bring to the table in our format, our version of reaction is like.
yeah, and not saying that every reactor has to do it in the same way.
Oh, of course
do.
not. No, that's what makes it
That-
unique. That's what makes
yeah.
it different. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I
So-
like about it.
I mean, the one thing I like about God, why did I just blank on his name? He has his own. He does his own rapping stuff. He's
Knox Hill.
Knox Hill, yes. Very, very, very good reaction channel if you're looking for information, technical information on raps and breakdowns of the bars.
But the
and,
bars and the cadences
like
and
the
stuff.
cadences.
He's really good about
good
that
at
stuff.
that.
And
like,
he's got a great setting. He's got a great platform. He's worked really hard on it, and he's developed an awesome following. And
Yeah.
he's got it set up now. He's really, really good. We looked up to him for a long time when we first started this. We watched tons of
Yeah.
Knox Hill when we first started
Yeah.
in here. So some of the inspiration for the room in here is inspired by Knox Hill's reactions.
Yeah.
Like that's how far that goes.
Yeah, I mean, but like, guys, if you're a content creator, and you're dealing with all of these copyright issues, number one, okay, dispute them, okay? Number two, who's making the copyright claim? Do they have a legitimate claim to it?
Yep.
Know the industries, know who your artists are working with. What one of our boys, what's his name? He went to Nashville Records, and then now he's with, what was it, Epitaph? Is that who he's with now? Yeah. Is it Epitaph Records? Anyway.
It's Epitaph, yeah. Because you told me that, and I was like, Rashad's on Epitaph?
Well, I did some research today. Warner owns Epitaph,
That doesn't
too.
surprise me at all.
So, like, yeah, he moved labels, but guess what? Big Daddy Warner is still the same.
He went from warehouse A to warehouse B, basically, but they're on the same lot, like they're working for the same guy.
So, like, as much as I'd love to react to him, we just can't. It doesn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't make sense. If we're trying to make a living doing this, and it's not all about the money.
It's not all about the money.
There's episodes, our 3 Christmas episodes, actually 2 of our Christmas episodes, the Pentatonics ones, we fully expect not to make money on it. It's covered in
zero.
Sony. Like
I'm not gonna lie, almost every time Pentatonics even gets mentioned in this room, I immediately go, well, that's. It's not even it's not about the money. I go right past that. I already know that. It's about, can we get it on the screen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can we get it up without a block? Typically, no.
It's been no for the last 3 or 4 that we've tried. So
yeah. But yeah, so know who your artists are working with. Do your research on their label. Who else owns their label? Who are they using for distributing? CD Baby. It's a Sony thing.
It's a Sony thing.
That's why it's so hard to react to independent artists that use CD Baby. Hit them up and be like, hey, I appreciate you getting music out to us. CD Baby makes it really hard for reactors to react to your stuff. We always recommend DistroKid.
DistroKid.
I looked into DistroKid. There's 2 companies that own it. Like, there's a company that owns it, and then a company that owns that company, and it's just some like small little thing in Michigan that owns it.
It was started out of some dude's house, I'm pretty sure. And
there's like 6 people who are like the high ups that like manage all of that.
And you're talking like $30 a year to get your music out on everything. And you get all the revenue from it. Like, all the revenue goes to one place. You don't have to collect from all these other fucking places. You just funnel it all in from all there. You click collect, and you can just do it that way. And it's $30 a year, and it stays on there as long as you want.
Yeah. So, reactors, do your research. That's why you're having such a problem. That's why we're making the same amount of money as some channels with 160,000 subs, because they should be making more than us, significantly more than us, and a lot more than us.
And look, I know we're on the internet, so when you hear the words like making money, you automatically assume that we get everything for free and we have these luxurious lifestyles and we don't pay for anything. We are barely making money, okay? Yeah. So keep that in mind. Like, I'm not talking thousands and thousands of dollars here. I'm talking.
We'll tell you this right out the gate. Okay, we average between $300 to $500 every month.
Barely making money.
Yeah.
For putting out 35 videos in 30 days, like that's barely making money.
Yeah.
If you break that down per video, we're making hardly anything.
Making pennies on the dollar, man.
Including all the work, the post work that goes into it after you press stop. Like we're hardly making anything. So, yeah. So we are making money, but it's interesting to know that these other people are saying, I have 100,000 subscribers and I'm making $400 a month, and it's like, well, we have a third of that and we're making that.
Yeah.
Let's do this. The entire, I think this encapsulates the entire video is the best way to avoid a copyright claim is to just not get one.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty much. And if you get one, hopefully it's by their own distributor.
Yep.
Right? And then you can interact with the artists
most
themselves.
Independent artists, that's the great thing about them. Most independent artists, if they like you and they know their distributor well, and you put in a copyright claim to them, most independent artists are going to give it back. They're like,
just shoot an email. Hey.
Yeah, let it go. It's good. Yeah. It's fine. Because they know that you are in the long run, you are helping bring people to their page and helping distribute their music past just one video on YouTube. Like, you want them to take it to their car now and show it to their friends, and then eventually come out to the shows and buy merch, and then help me on tour and do the whole thing, man.
How many people do we take to the Adam Calhoun show that like none of them listen to Adam Calhoun?
I'm at least one of those. I think we took like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, and then met up with some other people that were like, "Oh, you're going to that show? Well, cool. I didn't even know I was gonna." And then they showed up. We had Let me see. Joey, who had never heard his music before he showed up.
Never once.
But he's seen our reactions. We had Joey, Juan, Kenna. Kenna doesn't listen to his music.
Me.
You
Becca.
You listened enough to his music.
I've listened to enough to that, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I appreciate his music now. It's still not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate it through our listening and that whole thing.
Yeah, but like Becca doesn't listen to his stuff. Amanda drove all the way from Las Vegas to hang out with us and go to the show.
To tell us that rap is not her cup of tea either, but she still had the time of her life. You know, we had a great time. It was fun.
And that's all from a reaction channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because we made a video talking about an artist. People showed up and bought tickets to that show. And it wasn't a cheap show. Okay, we spent like $400 in tickets.
We spent an entire YouTube check on tickets. It was just tickets alone, basically.
And then we got there and buying drinks and food and merch.
You can't see it on the ceiling up there, but there's a signed flag that we paid for to talk to Adam Calhoun, and he got a signature on there, and that's how we got to end up talking to him for a few minutes. And he stood there and looked at our 307 Reacts page and shit. He pulled it right up on his phone. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm already subscribed." And I was like, "Yeah, bro. You're like one of the first ones that ever did."
Yeah.
Like one of the first comments we ever got was Adam Calhoun.
The other thing, reactors, okay, if you're like, oh, well, I don't necessarily. And here's the thing, okay? I understand it's hard to ask for help, okay? You need to reach out to somebody who knows the YouTube thing. And here's the thing. I don't know everything. We don't claim to know everything.
I don't claim to know anything. I always go, I have no idea what's going on.
What we do know is through our trial and error and then going, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
And then doing a research into it.
Yep.
The other big thing is we sat down and talked with, well, not sat down, but like virtually sat down and talked with a music entertainment industry lawyer, okay? And here's the thing.
Just got to ask your questions.
This person was nice enough to not charge us anything. Just be like, hey, I checked out your channel. There's a couple things that I would say, but other than that, you guys pretty much got it down. And then every once in a while, I'll shoot him a message. Hey, I have a question about this. How does this work? And then this person will send me a video. Hey, this is how this works. And they do a quick, like, 30-second boom, boom, boom. This is really simplified, but this is how it works. Find somebody. Hey, guys, the internet, they don't have to live in your town. They don't have to live in your state. They don't have to. Ideally, they should live in your country, okay? Because the laws are different country to country. But
yeah, they're available all over the place, man. Like you can get a hold of these guys pretty easily. Instagram and things like that. Like, check out people's accolades on, start on YouTube and look up some lawyers for the subject that you're on. A lot of these people now are getting on and making content about the things that they know and helping people out. So start there.
Yeah, just shoot them a quick message. Hey man, I have a YouTube channel. I'm running into copyright claims. What's your advice? Okay.
First question they're gonna ask: what are the videos you're posting?
Yeah, yeah. Are they movie reactions? Your channel won't be
posting
allowed.
Metallica and Batman. Yeah. Well, my friend.
Say goodbye.
See the little WB on the front of that movie? Yeah, you can't touch that. It's gold for a reason. You can't touch that, dude.
No shit. But anyway, we just thought we'd come on here and kind of talk our piece. The things that were said to me were not very nice. I'm not going to mention who it was. Doesn't matter who it was. But these are the things we know from number one being musicians, talking with lawyers in the industry. Now, luckily, the lawyer we have doesn't only practice law in music entertainment. They have, however, represented Sony. They have represented Universal. They have represented, they were telling me they went to court for Eminem one time and got him a thing. Like, this person has very, very well accolades, but they also have their own independent record label. They also play in a band. They know what's going on. Find that person. Okay, find somebody who knows. But.
And don't throw shade at people just because you're upset about something. I don't even know what the deal is, but like I don't even really know what's going on. But like, man, just
we're all here to help each other, right?
Just let people do their thing. If they have a thing on YouTube and they're saying something, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Look at the way Ryan Upchurch does it. He says shit all the time that he sometimes has to come back and go, yeah, man, I was wrong on that. Like, okay.
Yep.
I figured it out now, and now we're moving on. We're moving forward with that.
That's it.
Am I going to take the fucking video down? No. I'm going to leave it up there because it's okay to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, just, just come at everything, gradually. Don't come at people sideways, and just be constructive with your criticisms, and everyone should end up just fine, man. Everyone's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of money on YouTube to go around, okay? So go
Yeah.
get you some if you want some.
Absolutely.
It's out there. You just got to go get it.
Yep. So check your licenses. Know what your artists are up to. Support the independent. Okay. If you're reacting to major, Metallica, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, all these guys,
Probably not going to happen for you.
don't even bother. Okay.
It's just,
the advertising has been put in for those guys. Okay. Do something greater.
you
Change
don't
the
need
world.
you don't need to be the next guy on YouTube going, first time hearing AC/DC. You don't
Yeah,
need to,
right.
We don't need another one of
We
those
don't need
fucking
any more of
thumbnails.
those.
So let's just
Okay.
let's pass all that shit. God, it's so stupid.
Help make a change in an independent artist's life. Okay, people like Jay Webb, people like Ryan Upchurch is God, he's so successful. It's
Jesse
crazy.
B. People like
Jesse
Jesse
B.
B.
Yeah.
You know? Those kinds of people.
Lorenzo Cole.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who's the dude with the Chevy that we were talking about forever and ever? What was that dude's name?
I want to say it's Dustin. Is it Dustin?
Dusty. It's Dusty, wasn't it? Dusty Ray. Dusty Ray. Oh, did you say Dusty Ray already?
Well, there's Dusty Ray. Okay, but that
wasn't him.
That wasn't him.
Who was the dude talking about the? Anyways, doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Doesn't matter. Support your local artists, man. Support your
Independent artists, your
music.
local. I mean, God, we've had artists that are local here in town. We've reacted to their videos.
Yep.
And did it help them? A little bit. It helps a little bit. Are you going to get millions of views like you are on your Metallica reactions? No.
If you look at their analytics for that month, there's probably a little tiny bump in that spot where we watched their video. It did something. So
Yep. So anyway, well, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And welcome to 2023. We hope to do great things this year.
we'll see you on Patreon. Guys got to come over to Patreon. It's happening over
and
there.
this is the type of stuff that we would we may come in here and just talk about. Hey, did you see what hey, this is one of the things I really want to get into on Patreon every once in a while. Is maybe we'll do a once a month thing where we talk about what the major record labels are doing and why it doesn't make sense or why it would make sense.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
But
talk about some guitars. I'm dying to talk about guitars and big corporations with the way guitars are being made now, and it's so much fun. There's so much juice and tea. It's
anyway,
great.
This is the type of stuff that you can expect to see on Patreon. Plus, we'll be doing some funny stuff and random. We may upload a skit one week. Who knows?
We have endless opportunity over there. We can do whatever we want. So,
but anyway, we love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with us another year.
Yes,
and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. We'll see you guys Monday.
See you guys Monday. Yeah.
Bow.